Hey everyone. Okay, thank you so much for joining me for my live stream. Welcome to Beyond Film School. I am Amber. I'm sorry I am 6 minutes late. I apologize. I was redacting the information from the resumes. Now, I hope everyone can hear me. Let me know if you cannot hear me. If you're joining me, let me know. People who submitted their resumes, let me know that you're here. I hope that you're here because even if you're not here, you can still get all the information because you can watch this back on the replay. But if you are here, it helps because you can answer questions I might have when we're doing this. So, getting my coffee on. Okay, so last night, just to give you a little bit of my life, I just wrapped the movie I was on yesterday night. We were, we got done at 10:30 in Paterson, New Jersey. Then we did a splinter company move to Madison Square Garden to steal a shot. It was like pouring rain, and we wrapped at like 1:10 in the morning, and then I got a drink with like one of my friends that was on the movie. So I tried to sleep as much as possible, and I overslept. Definitely overslept this morning, so I apologize for my tardiness, guys. I swear I'm not hungover. I swear I'm not hungover. Okay, so I got a lot of resumes, and I almost forgot because I had a few resumes submitted to me throughout the weeks when I had everyone submit their resumes and let them know. And I set up this live stream for the resume review this month. I got a couple, and I was like, oh, like I forgot to let everyone know that I was actually doing this. So that explains my last minute post last night and my last minute story on my Instagram, because I was like, oh, I didn't even tell anyone I was doing this, and I would have had like maybe like 2 resumes, which would have been fine. I'm fine doing it, but like I really want to give everyone the opportunity to do this. So I'm gonna go to the chat. Let's see. Oh my goodness. And I don't know why my when I respond to the chat, it responds as Amber M. Sherman. I'm very confused. Like, did I set it up on the right YouTube channel? I'm like really confused right now. I have no idea. You guys are here, so I'm assuming it is. So I don't know why my name is showing up like that. Rachel, you're so funny. Just the next glimpse. So Rachel's gonna be, she did the resume review from December, and she resubmitted, which is great. And like first glance at your resume, like a lot better. So just saying that, like, you were funny because like I just sent my resume, and then I immediately found one of your videos that says not to do one of the things I of course did. So I hope I'm consistent and I can figure out like what it was that you're speaking about. It's all good, Rachel. I sent it in my CV the same way the first time. Then I spent the next few live streams tweaking it, changed my format completely, adding it. And that's exactly right, Sean, because I feel like your resume is like going to be this like constant thing that's with you as long as you are using it as a document that you need to keep getting jobs. And I mess with mine all the time. My partner is also in the industry, and he was tweaking it all the time too. So it's like we have everyone who has lots of years in the industry are just, we're constantly working on it, making our resume better, tweaking it, because more and more jobs you get, you have to kind of mess with your format. And plus sometimes you like get bored with the same format. So like I get it. Sorry, I'm drinking Airborne. So if you guys want, this is I don't think I've ever seen this, but when I worked in Atlanta, I got this cool like little cup. It was like one of our gifts from the film that we worked on in Atlanta. I like loved it. So anyone who's like in Atlanta, I like use this cup literally every day. I love it. But anyone who wants like a little hack for if you're like, you feel like you have a headache or anything like that, like my go-to is I go to like the Airborne little tablets, like the electrolyte tablets or the liquid IV things or whatever. Not Gatorade, because Gatorade's got too much sugar, y'all. Gatorade's got too much sugar, so like I don't go for Gatorade. So like the packets that you put in water, it instantly gets rid of headaches, people who have like headaches. So I'm just letting you know, if you're hungover, liquid IV, Airborne, all that stuff, super good for you. I'm sorry. I just feel like I wasn't hydrated enough yesterday, so that's probably why I'm like, bleh. Okay, so sunlight, haven't seen that for over a week here. Storm weather, yeah, it's kind of like it's not really sunlight. It just kind of the way my camera makes it look. It's really kind of gloom and doom outside, and last night it was like raining. So Chrissy Stewart, this is my future because of the late Dr. Luther King Jr. I dreamed of being a filmmaker, entrepreneur, playwright. Yes, having my film company as my yes. You guys gotta dream big. keep going after your dreams. Like, I'm here to support you. Share your dreams because all the positive vibes, yes. Curiel, don't judge me. Curiel, why are you even on my live stream? Curiel was on my movie with me. And we wrapped at like 1 something in the morning, and I definitely did not get enough sleep. I got home at like 4 in the morning. Or wait, actually, no, I think we closed the bar at 4 in the morning. It was pretty bad. Me and my girl, we chit chat. All right, let's get into these resumes. I am so happy to get back to this now that I have a few days. And I'm going to start with Vanessa. Now, Vanessa is one of my trainees. Now, this is rough, okay? She's one of my trainees. That's why I'm doing her resume first. She took my resume, she took my Set PA class back in February of 2021. And then she has kind of a special situation. She is from Colombia, and she had to wait for her U.S. authorization to come in, so she kept in contact with me. She did exactly what I told her to do, and I was like, it is your job to keep in contact with me. When you are authorized to work in the U.S., I got you. I will get you a job. I'll put you on a show because I wanted to work with her. She had really great energy. And her resume completely sucked the first time because part of my class is that you submit your resume and we go over it in the class, and we have a resume exercising thing because your resume has got to be tip top. Honestly, it's part of what is going to get you jobs. So the resume that is in front of you now, you might be like, what the fuck? But this resume has come a long way from what she submitted to me before. So I saw this and I was like, well, people are like, this is crazy, this is bananas, this is not what you want on your resume, right? But she 100% has made it better than what it was before. She gave me 5 pages of all kinds of shit. It was bananas. It was way, way too much. And so this being this is not what I want, but it is way better than what she had before. So that's context for you a little bit. But yeah, she comes first because she's one of my Set PA trainees. And the first thing I'm going to say is Vanessa, girl, you are proud to be you. Her personality is so big and wonderful. She's positive, and I just want her to kind of express herself on this page. So I want some fancy font. I want your name to be nice and big and just something that connects that your resume to your personality. I want the name nice and big, first of all. All of this being the same text, I don't want to see it. It's easy to read, but it kind of is hard to pick out the things that you want to see pop out on the page. So nothing's popping out. Right now, this is a grocery list, which you don't want to have here. So Vanessa, I definitely want to see your name nice and big with some personality. Have it big across the page. I want it nice and big. I want your categories to stand out. You have work history and you have experience, which is good. She has a lot of work history, so it has to stand out. And she was a walkie PA, she was additional Set PA a bunch of times. She was first team helper, and but I have to search for it, right? I have to search for it. So I just want you to use the page, and it's really great. You have your ADs on there. That's exactly what you have to do. But I just want to kind of separate it somehow. I really want to see your positions bolded. It's good that they're first. Great. Because at first glance, you're like, oh my God, this resume is a hot mess. But the first thing I see is right next to the bullets is the position. So that is something that is yes, perfect, right? But also, you want to make sure that only because I know, right, because I think, yeah, we can sort of see the dates are in there and they kind of get lost. So you want to make sure that your most recent job is at the top, Vanessa. So you want to make sure that your most recent job always at the top, and then you're working your way backwards, okay? And it's kind of hard because when you're formatting your resume, all you want to do is just add that last job to the bottom. You're like, all right, let's go down to the bottom, and you want to go in that order because I think that kind of just makes sense. And then when you have to put it at the top, it messes up your format and your whole, but I mean, let's be honest, her format can just definitely be tweaked in any type of way that, we can do whatever. So all in all, I don't really care about the dates, but I want to separate the company and the dates a little bit. The lines with the ADs are fine. I think just spread out the information above it and just I want the information with the bullets to be maybe 1 font size bigger. I want experience to be bolded, and I want that to be 3 font sizes bigger. So all we really need to do here with this resume, and your resume doesn't have to be fancy. We just have to make sure that your information pops out, right? But also, like, when you start getting a lot of experience and you don't have to kind of put your skills and you don't have to do that, like, this is a resume that people want to see. Like, we don't want the fluff that a lot of people who are changing careers and just starting out, like, you don't need any of that stuff. Where it's like, she's got the experience, so it's like she's letting her experience speak for itself. And it's exactly like what my resume looks like. It's just my credits, and that's it. Like, what I did, what the job was, that's it. And the ADs I worked for and the UPM I worked for. So this is kind of like what your resume will mesh into when you start getting more and more and more credits, because you don't have the room for all this like skills and blah, blah, blah. Like, because usually your skills, it's nice to have on the page, but also it is there. You can utilize your skills section when you don't have a lot to kind of show off, basically. All right, so Vanessa, hopefully you get that like first. That's a really quick review actually, because it's not that bad. It's just we just got to move some things around, make some things bigger and smaller, and then we're good. So I'll move on to the next. If anyone has any questions, please let me know in the chat. Also, if you are joining me, I would love to know where you're from, because I know I have Chrissy, I have Sean, I have Rachel, I have like my regulars on here. In which, let me just say, I love the fact that you guys come and you like watch this and you do this with me. I really, really enjoy it. Oh my god. So I'm gonna go on to the next resume. Now, Dan took my online Set PA course, and he wrote me an email a couple days ago, and he said, because what I do after you take the online course, at the end, I give you you can submit your resume to me, because, part of your resume, I want to review it. So that's like free for them. You don't have to. Some people don't take me up on the offer. And I think he said he took it a year ago, and then he was like, I still want to, can you review my resume? I'm like, I'm doing a live review, like, today, tomorrow, I guess it was. I think it was, we talked yesterday, I believe. I don't know. The days for me run together when I'm on set. I don't remember. I think it was early yesterday. And I was like, oh, tomorrow I'm doing a review. I think I got back to you yesterday because the days that you sent me your resume, I was kind of on set, and we were doing a lot of arena stuff, a lot of background. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, we have Adrian from Austin. Love that. I love that so much. So Dan, he took my online course, and I think this resume, I like it because the color, and I love the bars. I don't see the bars a lot, Dan. Like the proofreading, excellent, production support, excellent. I love when people use this, and this is kind of like a new trendy thing, but I don't know about trendy, but I also I've seen it a lot, like, with people who, I'm trying to think, like, I've seen it in not really with production resumes. And with that being said, I think that it's fine that you're using it here. I think there's just like nothing wrong with you using it here, because it makes it more like people like to look at graphs and instead of you explaining yourself. And I love that. So it's an easy way to be like, yo, I'm a bomb-ass proofreader. Just letting you know. So I like the color. I don't normally see this color on resumes. I love it. Most people use blue or green, and I love this color. This like golden, like whatever color this is. I don't know. What color is? I think it's gold. It's not quite orange. It's not yellow. It's gold. It's definitely gold. Okay. So I'm going to jump into it. Assistant producer. Wouldn't that just be associate producer? I don't know. Maybe assistant or associate. Let's discuss this for a second. Oh, we have Christopher from Atlanta. Welcome. And yes, Dan is here. Perfect. Okay. I was trying to get into this. Right, gold, right? I think it's gold. Okay. Organized and dependable candidate, successful at managing multiple priorities with a positive attitude, willingness to take on added responsibility to meet team goals. Now, I think as a producer, this is great, because I think producers it's really funny because a lot of people on a production have very defined responsibilities. They know their job title. They know what their job responsibilities are, right? So the fact that you're in the producer, like, world, and you're like, I'm willing to take on added responsibilities. It's like, that is kind of the job of a producer, to kind of take on whatever else needs to get done, because sometimes there are loose ends. It's like, who's going to take care of it? It's not my responsibility. It's always going to fall on production, which is the producers. So I kind of, if someone were a PA and said that in their resume, I'd be like, nah, no, I wouldn't be here for it. So, but since you're like, I'm associate producer, like, that is what I want to do, this is what we're going for, I accept it. I don't know how anyone else feels about that. And please, if you have any comments about these resumes while you're watching this live resume review, like, definitely put it in there, because any feedback that you might have might be something that a person that's hiring this person might have, and you may notice something that we don't notice. Like, put it in the chat. Like, all feedback is definitely welcome. Even bad, even some critiques, like, I don't like this, I don't like that. I love the way this resume is organized, Dan. I love how your categories, you have the line above and below, because I normally see like the line just below it, not above it. So I kind of like how it's like it's just definitely like outlined. I love that. And I don't mind that you're utilizing the space. I think some people might give you grief for having the color block be so thick, but it just works. I think it's fine. Let's see. Now we're getting into your experience. I love how the positions stand out, they pop out, they're bold, they're there, like, and I don't mind the dates on the side. That's fine if you want to keep them there. What else would you put there? I feel like that being there is totally fine. Let's see. Let's see what Dan is saying. Okay. Yeah, working for a local production, that was the title they gave me, assistant producer. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't really hear assistant producer a lot. I don't know about any other people who are watching this right now. Like, I don't see that title a lot. It's usually co-producer or associate producer, I think. I don't think there's a real big difference, but it's only because like one is used and like one we don't really hear that other title. Do you think associate producer title will hinder me in getting PA jobs on bigger productions though? So, okay. So I think for that's a really good question, because with that in mind, where you kind of have that question of like, well, they might think I'm overqualified, right? And to avoid that, if you're trying to get PA jobs, I think that you might want to make two different resumes then. But okay, so you're Gray Skies Film, East Hanover. I think maybe coordinate production schedules, activities for commercials and corporate videos, created shot lists, book talent, locations. I think if you make it known that it's just a local production company, like maybe it might come across, but then you're getting like producer experience and maybe it's not exactly where you want to be. I think you definitely have to lay that out in your resume somewhere. You have to kind of say that. Production assistant. Digitized log footage for production team supported. Yeah, like what supported production needs by performing routine tasks using standard procedures and equipment. Were you a TV pilot? Were you on set? Because you say production assistant. Were you on set or were you a post-production assistant? Because digitized and log footage means I feel like you're post. So I just want to put like a label next to that production assistant, because people, like, everyone has something next to their production assistant title. Like, it could be RPA or camera PA or set PA or post-production PA. Like, you're not just a production assistant. There's always like something. So yeah, okay, definitely say that you're a set production assistant for sure. But you logged footage for production teams, so I feel like that's not exactly set. So I think they were just kind of, was this an indie thing, Dan? I think this was an indie thing. Let's see. Right, Rachel? See, I'm down with this color. I like this color. It makes me calm. Okay, so you're a staff writer and then a studio page. Let's see. Oh my God, you worked for Perez Hilton. Lord Jesus. Okay. Wrote compelling, clever blog. I love how you're like compelling and clever. I love it. Blog posts reporting news in the realms of entertainment, true crime. I feel like I feel like you don't really need to explain the staff writer thing, because we all know what you did at Perez Hilton if you're a staff writer. I'm gonna go to the chat really quick. Let's see. It's local commercials and corporate videos mostly. Love this color. Yes, I was on set. Yes, indeed. I see the title assistant producer in unscripted TV. And okay, assistant in the UK and Ireland, they are also known as junior producers. It's a step up from researcher. Okay. Okay, good. That's good. Oops, sorry guys. Speaking of tea, I'm drinking all types of liquids, guys. I'm just like, for my throat, I have the tea, and then I have coffee for my caffeine and my energy. Okay, so studio. I love that you have studio page here. That's awesome that you were page. I'm sorry. I feel like pages are like totally tortured. This is a great resume. I think, but the only thing I'm really missing is like, you tell me like who you are, your skills. I love that. I love that. If you're trying to find more production assistant jobs, don't say you're an assistant producer in your resume, because definitely that will elevate you higher if you're trying to get PA jobs. Sorry guys. I feel like that might be a problem, because I'd be like, oh, well, you're an assistant producer. Why would I hire you for a PA job, right? It just depends on what you're going for, and you kind of have to map it out in your resume and like what you want to do. Because in your lovely statement, I love it, your personal statement there, I just want to make sure there's nothing above it. You are mapping out who you are as a person. You have a positive attitude in your responsibilities and team player, blah, 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 blah. But like, tell me what you want, like if you are, but then also I think, and I guess maybe the folks that are watching this, I think maybe if you were to put, I'm gonna move this a little closer. So, cause I found that like looking back at my, my live stream replays, I'm like, when I move back like this, my audio goes away because duh. Okay, so do you think I'm qualified for a production coordinator with this? Production coordinator has very different responsibilities, Dan. So, I mean, here's the thing. I think if someone saw that you were an assistant producer, they would be like, oh, you can probably handle being a production coordinator, depending on the size of the project, right? I think maybe on bigger things, you might be qualified to be a POC, assistant production coordinator. I think that might be in the realm of possibility for you. But if you find something smaller, like a smaller indie or something, and they're asking for a production coordinator, I say go for it, because why not shoot for the stars here? Like, let's just go for it. And I think a lot of people, when they are applying for jobs, they see certain posts, they kind of get, not imposter syndrome, but they're like, maybe that I've not really done that position, so like I shouldn't apply for it. But like I think if you have like 30 to 50% of the responsibilities down, like, yeah, I can sort of do that, and that, if you look up the position, then the rest of it can really be done like, 1 or 2 days experience, you're going to get into the flow of it, especially production coordinator. I feel like a lot of production coordinators, I feel like it's rare to have a real good one, guys. It's rare. So if you're really good with like picking things up and like, not to say like, hey, if you pay attention. I had this conversation with my boyfriend the other night, and I was like, the reason why some people who are like, the people that pay attention, that like 10% of people are really paying attention. Everyone else is like, duh. So if you're someone who's like paying attention to the job, and which if you're on this live stream and you're like watching this and you're trying to like, yes, I want my resume to be better, like that tells me you're at least paying attention. And there are so many people who are just not paying attention, and I feel like you making this resume, you took my online course, you've taken the initiative to kind of better yourself. Like, I think you'd be able to be a production coordinator on something. The only difference would be is if it's bigger, it's like the budget and the more and more people, you're managing more and more people and bigger things. So I definitely would start with like a POC or like a smaller indie to start with, that to build those like associate or to build those credits for a production coordinator. Because I think like you want to be a producer, but like maybe in the scripted world you might see yourself as a UPM, something like that, Dan. I'm not sure like where you're trying to go. Because I think maybe the one thing I want to see in a resume is just where you want to go. That's the only thing, because because some people are like, if my goal is to be a Set PA and try and gain that experience, and they tell me on the resume, perfect. If I'm hiring someone who is associate producer and they're trying to be a producer, perfect. Like, sometimes knowing the goals, and if also when I hire PAs who want to be ADs, if they tell me they want to be ADs, My heart sings. My heart sings for that. I swear to God. So Dan, let me know. Okay, so your ultimate goal is to be a writer producer. Then I think that's fine. I think maybe being a production coordinator might not. It will help you in the producer realm. And it might not help you in the writer realm, but also I think being in the office actually kind of gets you closer to the writer's room in a weird way, because you do work with the writers when you're a production coordinator and like you're in that like producer realm for sure. So I think you're on the right track. I think this is great. Your resume is nice. It looks lovely. I don't have any like real bad feedback for you like that. I think this looks great. This is like really, really tight. It looks really clean. And this is really pleasant to look at. I don't know how anyone else feels about your resume, but like this is really great. And I mean, if I was hiring a producer, I'm like, yeah, sure, hop on. If I was hiring an assistant producer, perfect. So let me know if you have any other questions, Dan. I'm gonna go to the chat really quick. Senior drive. Oh, I feel people. Let's see. Do you think I'm qualified? Ultimate goals. Right. I've been told to lie about my desires about being a writer. Oh, okay. So let's unpack that for a little bit here. I mean, we're all in the film industry for something. I mean, I want to be a first AD on a big ass, like huge ass movie. I want to see my card and on like a huge big budget movie. People are like, Amber, you're crazy, but like first AD is where I love being on set. I love doing it. And people are like, yeah, but don't you want to be a director? I'm like, I mean, do I really want to be a director? I see what directors go through day in and day out, and it does not look good. But also, I feel like I'm not ready to tell a story. So let's talk about like you hiding the fact that you want to be a writer. Some people, I think maybe that's like, that whole saying, I'm pretty sure maybe Sean might know about this, where it's like, oh, everyone wants to be a writer-director. But, like, we're all creatives, though. So, and people have everyone has a story to tell. So, if you want to, like, keep that part of you, and you want to keep that part of you being a writer and you being a producer separate, I think that's fine, especially just making sure that you do hone your skills as a writer, right? You are actively writing whatever you're trying to write, whatever script or show or whatever you're trying to write. You make sure you keep writing that thing. You're working on your craft, and you go to those writers round tables, screenplay round tables and script writers round tables, and getting feedback on your pages and doing that. Like that will help you as a writer. And I think that if you hone your craft and like sometimes like if you're in the producer circles and you're a writer, the two definitely will come together, because producers want scripts that they can produce and make money off of, right? And you know that as a producer and working with producers, they want the content that they could produce to make money off of. Not to make this like, oh, well, it's about money, but also it's about the stories and like, the people we impact and all that, and the people that we entertain. But if you're a writer producer, I think the two very much go together for sure. Patrick, yes, I agree. It's a pretty sweet resume. Rachel, nice work. At Dan, yes, totally nice work, Dan. Patrick, hey Amber, where do you do your production assistant course? I do my Set PA course in person in New York City. So that's where I do mine. So I think that going back to Dan and his like writer producer goals, I think that if you are making connections with producers and you are honing that connection and you have real relationships with other producers, not this like shallow shit, like, you're hanging out with them, you're actually friends. Like, I don't like the term networking, and me and my boyfriend got into a real big debate about the word networking, got pretty heated. And because he's coming from another job that was distant location, he's coming back to New York, to where he actually lives and works, and he has to kind of like reconnect his connections. And he was like, yeah, but that's networking. I'm like, it is networking, but if they're really your friends, you're like connecting back with them in a real relationship. So, but if you're starting to really get those connections with producers, sharing that you're a writer and you're writing something, or you have a script or whatever, like, there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm pretty sure they have their own things. And also, you could hey, read this and let me know what you think type of thing. That happens all the time. So Obi-Wan Martin, 100% question, asked first day of uni people put up their hands, and we were told focus more on learning the craft of filmmaking and take the knowledge we get from the industry before deciding. For sure. And I think that's really important, because a lot of people now I'm hearing more, like I used to get director a lot when I ask people what they want to do in the film industry. A lot of people are saying now showrunner, because showrunner's a real big buzzword with like Ryan Murphy and like Shonda Rhimes. Like they want to be this big badass, which I'm like, yes, strive to be a big badass. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? Like I'm here for that for sure, 100%. But also, don't forget all the things, all the pieces, all the small jobs, like the PAs, the scenics, the set dressers, the carpenters, like the grips, the electric, the sound people that make up all the things that you are going to have knowledge of to make your show actually run and be a good one. Okay, so I hope that was helpful, Dan. I really hope that was helpful, and I don't know, your resume is great, and I wish you all the best. So I'm sure you'll have like questions in your email. No problem. Email me if you have any questions. So I'm going to move on to, we have Pat. Oh yeah, Nova Scotia, even harder. I also need experience in education in Ottawa, Ontario, and it's very difficult to get started even with just finding local networking events. So for sure, networking events is very hard. I feel like I've had I think last night I dreamt of like a networking event that I put together. It was crazy. I don't know what I'm dreaming about, guys. Like it was like this weird thing. I had a dream where I was like, I got like Made in New York, the PA boot camp, and I had all the training people, and we all got together, like crew me up, all the things, and we all got together for this like big banquet, and it was just like this big film industry thing. I was like, I don't know what I'm dreaming, guys. But I know that I'm trying to put networking events together because I hate like the really awkward networking events where it's like you just go, you have drinks, and you talk. I'm like, I need some structure. I need structure. I need fun. Just being in a room talking with people having drinks is not exactly fun. Being in a room talking to people that I know is fun. Being in a room with people I don't know and drinking, not so fun to me. Okay. All right, so we're gonna move on to our next one. This is Patricio. I think you're here. Let me know if you are here, Patricio. He submitted his resume, and then he was like, "Don't be so harsh." I was like, "I will try to be as gentle as possible." So, let's see. You're in Atlanta, which is love Atlanta. Fully vaccinated, and I'm gonna move my microphone because I keep moving. I'm sorry, guys. I keep moving. Fully vaccinated, willing to travel. I don't like that willing to travel. Like, what do you mean by willing to travel? I guess, hopefully, if they're on this. Oh my god, this coffee tastes so good. Also, if you guys want to see I don't know why it doesn't say it on the other side, but I don't know if some of you guys have seen this cup. I love this cup so much. I'll turn it around to like not make people feel uncomfortable because I'm very, very vulgar and I swear a lot, so apologies. The first thing I really notice is not to like get off the willing to travel thing. I don't know what you guys think about willing to travel, but when someone says willing to travel, I don't know why I don't like it, but like of course everyone's willing to travel, right? No, maybe not if you don't have kids and stuff like that. So I guess it's okay. But like, are you going to be a flight risk for me kind of thing? But also from your resume and from like your experience, it looks like you've traveled to go to jobs, which is fine. Right? This one thing in California, you have Atlanta, France, like there's things. So it's like, to me, I already know you are willing to travel just based on the experience you are, putting on your resume. So I like how film experience, I like how it's bolded, but it kind of runs a little bit too much into the line below it. I want a space there to not get too mixed up with the information. I have a real big problem with your layout here. I don't know if I like the fact that, okay, so first things first, I'm pretty sure you guys will know what I'm going to say. Pick out the problems, guys. You know what the problems are. my regular folks, I like just pick out the problems because I'm pretty sure you know what it is. So the numbers, I keep saying the number of days. Take those out. You're not doing yourself any favor because it's only a couple days. Take those out. Gosh, this is a trend I want to go away. Damn it, Joe. It's all Joe's fault. It's Joe in this chat. It's Joe on this live stream. I swear to God. Joe started this trend of like putting the number of days on like the things that they've worked on. I don't know if I like that. All right, well, they're going to take the days off. Also, you have the name of the feature on like it's the first line and it's bolded, and I don't like that. Like your position has to be first, because the only thing that should be italicized on your resume is going to be the title of the project. That's going to be italicized and in quotes. So you have family affair bolded, which if you flop those two, like additional production assistant should be bolded, right? I want that to be bolded instead. Take out 4 days of work, because it's like, ugh, it just makes me cringe. I get it. You're additional. You don't have to tell me how many days you're additional. It's totally fine. And then across from that, on the right side, first AD, the second AD, and then you have Netflix, production, blah, 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 Atlanta, Georgia. I don't mind the location. You don't really need it. I don't mind it. You can keep it. Like, again, this is a thing there I'm like, okay, fine. But I don't like how, if you are going to do like left and right aligned, I need them all to be aligned, right? So the indentation is fine where you have your bullet points. On the other side, you have, if it looks like you're trying to make them right aligned, then make them right aligned. It's like put them over so they all like nice, like give me that nice clean line. Because right now my eyes are disturbed by some of this. I don't like the way I'm like looking all over the page, and like I see things that are uneven, and there's an extra space here and there's like no space here, and it's like I just need things to be a little bit cleaner. Okay, I'm okay with you putting your first and second AD on this feature, but did you have like a personal relationship with them? Because when you're an additional production assistant, you are working more closely with either your key PA or your second. So I kind of want to see those names on instead. So the rule of thumb for me, when you start putting the ADs that you worked with when you're a set PA, is it's like if you're an additional PA, it's your key PA and your second if you were involved with them, because there's no point in putting that person's name on your resume if they don't know who you are. Because someone might read your resume and be like, oh, I know Jonathan McGrary, like, of course. And they're like, hey, what do you think of Petruccio? And they're like, who the fuck is that? You know what I mean? If they don't know you, it doesn't benefit you really to kind of put them on a resume. The only way, I guess, maybe for the first to be on there is to be like, oh, I know how this first AD works, therefore I know the style, I know what they dealt with, right? There is that element, but I want to have your key PA or your second AD on there. Not necessarily your first AD and the second. So when you start moving up, so when you're the key PA, I definitely want to see your second on there and your key second and your first, right? So then once you're like a second, then you put your key second, your first, and then your UPM. You see what I'm saying? Like as I go up, more people keep getting revealed. So if I'm a UPM, then my line producer, my producer who hired me, is going to be on there. I hope that makes sense to everybody, because I think maybe that gets a little confusing for like, who do I put on my resume? So the next thing, this ESPN thing, so it's kind of, you have different things in the parentheses, and it kind of throws me off. So I want you to have a consistent format. So in your first credit, you have in parentheses feature. And then in the next line, you have in parentheses ESPN. And then you have Ming Entertainment. So like on the other side, I don't quite like that when it's like, if you're going to put the fact that it is a feature in parentheses, then you have to keep following that format and not put anything else in parentheses. Does that make sense? Like, I need a little bit more consistency. So scenic drive, I would suggest lining up the information on the right for a cleaner look. Yes, 100%. The staggering is throwing me off. Yes. It makes me not want to look at the resume, which if you are doing that to someone's brain, they're going to just like toss your resume aside, and you don't want that. You want to keep their eyes on the page. So yeah, the 2 days, the 4 days, we got to take those out. And then you start using bullet points. You go 2 things down, and then you use, I know this is now your film festival student program. I feel like that's got to go somewhere else. It's got to go in your education education section. So you don't even have an education section, because you have film experience, and you have work experience, and you have skills and awards. And then you just have University of Georgia, where you don't have education. So if you were to put that student program in education, I would accept that there, not in your film experience. film experience is not a student program, unfortunately, because if you're going to call it the American Pavilion Cannes Film Festival student program, that's a film festival. That's not exactly film experience, especially it's not set. The film festival circuit is very, very different than film work. And I think a lot of people get confused with that. Like, for example, I worked in distribution and marketing and acquisitions, film distribution acquisitions, but I don't count that towards my film experience. That is my marketing, film festival, and distribution experience, right? It's another part of filmmaking that is definitely part of filmmaking, but it's not like on set film. Like, it's a very, very different job. So I definitely want to see your film festival student program in your education system or section. Jesus Christ, I keep saying system. Oh my God. So, and then you have a thesis film. If you're going to call it your MFA thesis film, that has to go in your education section as well. If you want to, so this is an MFA thesis film that you were a production assistant and a script supervisor on. Pick one of those. I mean, I guess sometimes that's a PA and then they make you a script supervisor. I guess I get it. That also has to go in your education section, 100%. So one thing I notice is your category film experience is all caps. Then we go down a little bit to work experience. Then you have work in just a capital W and lowercase, and then we have experience all in caps. You have to have a consistent format here again. So if you're going to bold it and you're going to caps it, make sure work is all caps. Okay, so because I see that skills and awards is also bolded and in all caps as well. Yeah, so scenic drive, you're saying skills and awards are also not fully left aligned. Correct. There's like 2 spaces that are off. I just noticed certificate section and bullets are not aligned and uniform as well. So I think the main thing here is just getting it a lot cleaner, because now I feel like I'm really nitpicking, but also having the information in the right section. Because I think that if you just worked on just cleaning it up a little bit, it'll look a lot better. So I need you to be a little bit more meticulous, right? Because I'm picking these things out and I don't want to be looking at the fact that like, oh, there's spaces here and it shouldn't be here. Like, because my brain is not now so focused on the fact that things are not clean or aligned that I'm not really looking at your information because I don't want to. And that's what my brain is doing naturally right now, unfortunately. So you want to make sure that film experience, work experience, skills and awards, and you make sure you add education, because you don't have a label for that. You should have a label for that, because now you got to add 2 things in that section and make sure they're consistent format. Okay, make sure it's all, like, if you're going to go with bold and caps, make sure it's all bold and caps. So you also you're using bullets, and Scenic Drive did say this. You're using bullets where it's like under American Pavilion Film Festival student program. The bullet points are not aligned with the bullet points that are coming after it. Like, there's 2 sections below there and bullet points, and those bullet points are not aligned. So like, you want to make sure that if you're using bullet points on the page, and if they're all on the left, you want to make sure they're all on the left aligned, of course, right? That is just, if you use bullet points anywhere, you want to make sure that you're consistent with where they fall, and you can control that with margins and stuff like that. So now I'm just going to get into your work experience. Curated fundraising content for a campaign that reached 5,000, collected data in Excel for 50 children to monitor their progression through the educational program. I like that it says volunteer. I like that. You can do landscaping, crew member. Let's see, filled the green performance. I feel like you don't need to explain to me what you did. I mean, I get why you're doing that, because it's like, it's work. So here's the thing, is that this should be called work history, not work experience. So that would be work history or unrelated work experience. So you want to make sure you decipher that very distinctly. Like, you want to distinguish those 2 sections. Work experience could be like, well, would that be your film work experience? But you want to make sure it's either work history or unrelated work experience. So just moving on to, your locations, they all gotta be, I think that if you had your locations all nicely right aligned, I would be so much happier, because it's driving me crazy. It's just like the Sugar Hill, Georgia is just like floating. It's like floating in the middle of the page. Even though it's not really in the middle of the page, but it looks like it's just like floating there in nothingness. It's kind of funny. So skills and awards, languages, English. Well, I don't think you need to put 100% fluent. I think if you just put English and Spanish, it really kind of eliminates a lot of the extra words that you don't really need able to translate between Spanish and English. I think that if you just put English and Spanish, I will assume that you would be able to translate, right? Like I don't know how anyone else feels that way, but I feel like that is, I don't know, assumed. Kind of bad to assume, but like I think you just need to put English and Spanish there to just eliminate the amount of words on the page. Like, I feel like it's just extra stuff you don't need down there. Let's see. So marketing, digital marketing, marketing strategy, and public relations. Now, here's the thing. I love the show Emily in Paris. And it's one of those my guilty pleasure shows. I love that show so much. And I remember the scene. It was like in one of the last episodes of, like, I think we're in season 3 now. Season 3, I don't know, it was in the last episodes, and Emily said something along the lines of, she's a marketing person, right? She is queen of marketing and whatever she does, right? Emily is marketing, and she's like, they're talking about public relations and PR, and she says they always like to lump us in with public relations. Public relations is not marketing. Two different things. They go together, they're very, very close, but they're not the same thing. So I will say, let's just make sure that if you have public relations experience, that it's not under marketing, because that would be wrong. Let's see, technical, proficient in, I like how you're like kind of dividing things up and you're trying to find categories within a category, which is fine, but I don't know, you're trying to organize it to kind of be like, where does this fall? So Microsoft Office Suite, Google Office Suite. I don't think it's called Google Office. I think it's just called Google, like I don't think it's called Office Suite. Please, anyone in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it's called Google Office Suite, because I think that's Microsoft Office Suite. Yes. Google Analytics and Adobe Creative Cloud. I mean, now I'm like, guys, figure out this Google thing. I have to look up this Google thing. I'm like, what? I don't think that's actually... Is that what they call it? I don't think that's what they call it. I don't know why I'm nitpicking about this one little thing. Okay, so Business of Entertainment 2021 Georgia Power Rising Star Student College. Okay, so that is an award. So you have skills and awards. That tells me you have more than one award, but you only put one award there. And it kind of like is just chilling there. I don't know why the placement of this bothers me a bit. Does this bother anybody else? And you're bolding languages, marketing, and technical, but then you bold the award. I think you got to put that under. I think you have to put that under the education section, and just you have skills section, because if it's just one award, definitely put that award under education section, like your education section, like definitely. Let's see what Obi-Wan Martin. Yeah, but they get thrown in together in the first college courses where there are 3 strands of marketing. We had general with language or PR and event management. Yeah, so you're right. So yeah, PR is not marketing. Okay. So this award, skills and awards, I think just make that a skills section. Put your award under education. I think if you are, let's put that in your education section. So I think there's a lot that you kind of have to fix. I definitely encourage you to come to next month's resume review after you fix some things. I hope I wasn't too rushed, but I hope I wasn't too harsh. But I feel like there's just a lot of you just got to be a little bit more meticulous and pay more attention to the details, because every space counts, And I didn't see any spelling mistakes, but I feel like just one little spelling mistake, like little things, they really, really, yes, Google, yes, okay, thank you, Sean. Obi-Wan Martin, Google has Google Docs, yes, so Google Docs, it's called Google Docs, not called Google Office Suite. I knew it was called something else. I could not, for the life of me, figure that out. I could not. So, I definitely want you to revamp this a little bit. Give yourself some space here between that line underneath the categories. Make that maybe one more font bigger. Also, I didn't even mention your name is really tiny on the page. one thing I want to stress to everyone that is watching or everyone that's watching the replay is like, be proud of you. Love yourself enough to make your name the way you want it to look, nice and big on the page. And I swear, like, I think, I haven't really stressed this, right? Because I think when I first started stressing that, make your name nice and big so they know who you are. And then I kind of like, my mindset really changed about your name on your resume. Because for me, it's a sense of pride, right? Your name is who you are. That is you. That is like, for me, I love my name. Amber M. Sherman. You better put the initial in there and everything. Like, I'm very much a stickler about when people don't call me by my proper name. And it's just like, my name is nice and big on my resume because I'm proud of who I am. And I've worked hard to get where I am. And I feel like the way you express yourself and how you present your name on your resume really speaks to who you think you are. And I think that really has to just whoever you are, whoever you want to be in life, like, let me see it on your resume. And it sounds like probably a little deep or whatever, but like, I think that your name should be nice and big because you should be proud of who you are. You should love yourself enough to be like, yes, I'm Patricio. Also, you have a lovely long name. This is a beautiful, like, fill that page up. Use the space. You have space here. So definitely go through this, go through the notes. We did spend a lot of time on Patricio's resume, but I think all these notes are really going to do you good. And then you come back, revise it, and come back next month. And I feel like this is not horrible. I've definitely seen worse resumes. So I hope that helped, Patricio, and I hope I was gentle enough, but gave you enough feedback to improve for the next one. I'm going to go to the chat really quick. Let's see. We had a lot of camera. Gosh, did I miss something? We had a lot of camera people. Audio lecturer turned to them and said he could name 200 people in the nearest 50 miles, but he could only name 4 half-decent audio people in the whole country. Facts. Okay. Sorry, I missed that one, Obi-Wan Martin. Sorry, my throat is actually kind of coarse because I've been yelling for like 20 days of this production. I've been yelling a lot on set. I have to figure out I feel like I've gotten how to project, but then also just like, it's just, oh God, okay. Certificate section. Wait, I'm gonna go back to that resume really quick. Let me see, certificates. I'm like looking. I don't know. Well, I think you just mean the skills and awards section, probably. Let me see. Google has Google. That's the whole Google suite is called Google Workspace. Yes, thank you, Google Workspace. Thank you so much. So Angela, I think. Angela, you're new. I don't recognize your name. So welcome to this lovely live stream. We're going to hop into our next resume. I think we're on our fourth one. Okay, we're on the 4th resume now. So Isabel is new. I have seen this template used many, many times, but what I will say about this, Isabel, I hope you're here, is that this is like the first time I've seen it kind of used in a better way, because every time I see this template used, I hate it. I don't know why I hate it so much. I don't know why. It's like the wrong things are emphasized in a weird way. Okay, so let's just start this off. Great, your name's nice and big, perfect. Okay, aspiring film director and screenwriter with great interpersonal communication and people management skills. I like that. I have worked with people from diverse cultures and backgrounds. I'm an excellent team player, willing to go the extra mile to accomplish project goals. That tells me that you are willing to be taken advantage of. I don't like that. I think that, like, I understand the whole team player thing. I understand, you're willing to go the extra mile. Like, listen, okay. I'm willing to go the extra mile. Like, I'm here to make my boss's job easier. As a second on set, I'm here to make sure the first gets what he needs. And if, like, he has shortcomings, I gotta make up for it. Or when she's got, like, I'm there to, like, get things going when, some people fall short. That is going the extra mile. Do I want to say that on my resume? No. I don't know why, but there's got to be something else you can put there. I don't know why I don't like the team player of it. I think team player is really easy to use on a resume. I need you to dig deeper. You can say something a little bit more dynamic about yourself. Dig a little deeper. I love your first sentence, even though you're like, I'm aspiring film director and screenwriter with great interpersonal communication and people management skills. I love that. Your next sentence about being like, I love the next sentence about working with people from diverse cultures and backgrounds. I love that. I'm an excellent team player, willing to go the extra mile. I just have a real big problem with that sentence, and I just don't know why. I just want you to dig a little deeper on that last sentence. If you're going to utilize that space, like, you don't even need to have that sentence. Like, you can just end it at, I have worked with people from diverse cultures and backgrounds. And I'd be like, all right, dope. Like, let's keep going, right? So, but if you're saying I'm an excellent team player, willing to go the extra mile, I just want something else. Everyone says that shit. Tell me something about yourself that no one else says, right? And this is why I love doing these resume reviews, because you see what other people put on their resumes. And I feel like this really gives you, it opens your eyes to what other people are putting on their resumes, and just like, it opens a door of like, because no one really knows what other people are putting on their resumes. And so I think I see this a lot, and I just think it's boring. Tell me you're a team player. Come on. I don't know why I hate this so much, and I don't know what anyone else thinks about this, but I just don't like seeing it on a resume. I feel like it's just a lazy thing to put on your resume. You just gotta think a little harder. I know you dug deep the first couple of sentences, and it was great, and that was so strong, but then you ended with team player and going the extra mile to accomplish project. Come on. There's gonna be something else you can tell me about yourself about this in the world of film. Okay, moving on. I don't like how, I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. With this template, it makes the categories a different color. Fine. I'm totally fine with use of color. I am totally fine with use of color. Okay, but they make the categories a little bit smaller, and then they make your other things a little bit bigger. I don't know if I completely agree. It's a different template. It's fine, because like I can see the categories, like, even though it's smaller font, they stick out. But do I want the categories to stick out that much where it's taking away from the other things on the page? Probably not, right? So I love that you have it kind of categorized into art department, short films, commercials, music videos, but you also have one thing under each category. So I think that, is that your, okay, so art department, you were a art department trainee. Under the short film, you were a set production assistant. See, I have to look for it. I have to go and look for your position. So I just want to make sure that people know that your position should always be first. I want to see that first. So if you have art department underlined, and then you have, okay, art department trainee, like right underneath that, or like maybe it's art department and then art department trainee, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I have to see your position first. I don't mind that the dates are kind of small underneath there. That's fine. I'm okay. It's just that this template, like, it kind of locks you into this format that I'm not a fan of. And like, guys, if you see this template, don't use it. Use something else, please. Please. I see this so often. If you're watching this and you're about to be one of my trainees in my February class coming up next month, because I'm about to send everyone an email about what they need to bring to the class, and they're going to get, like, you have to do your resume, PDF format, whatever. And if you use this template, I'm going to just kill you. If you're watching this and you're about to be in my class next month, which is sold out actually, which is amazing. I'm so happy that it's sold out. But if you use this template, it just locks you into this horrible template. It's horrible. I just hate it so much. I don't know why. I don't know how anyone else feels about this. Okay. So assisted in dressing, set, managing props. There's a space before that comma, and then not a space after a comma. That is really throwing me off. So we make sure you always proofread, and you make sure you have like proper spacing. And then I see a lot of like, there's like semicolon with no space after it. And then there's like, then you're using a semicolon, and then you're starting a new sentence. Like, let's make sure that you have your punctuation like in check and correct. Because I got eaten alive on punctuation over like one space before a comma. It was crazy. Okay. Let's see. Organizing the workspace. Short film. There's an extra quotation in there. Am I tripping out? Yes. Because you open and then you close and then you close it again. So, and then there's a space before a comma. there's a lot of things here where it's like you can fix if you just have someone proofread your resume. One thing I will say, be a team player and don't use this template. Chad is back. Hey, Chad, what's going on? Don't come at me, Chad. Okay, so here's the thing if you just send your resume to literally anybody, it doesn't have to be anyone that's in film, just a human being that can read. Like even someone who's in high school can probably pick out some of your mistakes, you know? Like they're going to look at it like, oh, I see this. Like you need someone that's just going to look it over and proofread for you, because here's what happens when you look at your resume and you try and proofread it over and over and over again. You've been like looking at it, staring at the same shit for like, I don't know, hours, days, weeks, months as you are like building your resume. You can't find your mistakes. So you need to have another person, another human being's eyes on your paper to find these little things. So definitely fix a lot of the punctuation. There's a lot of punctuation here that does not to be needed, or it's like something is wrong here. Okay. So you got to fix that, because this tells me that you might want to go the extra mile, but you're going to fuck it up somehow. Here's the thing is that like, if you're going to go and do this resume and you have this many mistakes, you have definitely like, you've tried to use a great template. It's like, then you have a lot of like, it's messy, right? I don't want messy when I have someone working for me. I don't want messy. So you just gotta make sure you pay attention to the details. Okay. Gotta pay attention to the details. All right. Set production assistant. Then you have the date, printed and distributed daily paperwork, scripts and call sheets. Okay. I feel like, how do I feel about this? If someone is hiring you to be a production assistant, paperwork and distro. We use the term distro because that's going to be your call sheet sides and stuff like that. I don't know why I'm nitpicking at this. Now I'm really, really digging deep, and I feel like I'm really going to be like, printed and distributed daily paperwork. I think that's fine. You don't need to put scripts and call sheets. I don't think, you know what I mean? I don't think you need to, God, I don't know. Okay. Okay. Assisted in setting up, I'm fixating on that. I just have to move on because I just have so many things that are just like, I just need you to use the right terminology. You can just say, like, I don't even think you need to put this stuff. Just say set production assistant. I think you can just not put it. You don't need to lay out what you did as a set production assistant. Save it for the interview, and they can be like, hey, what did you do on this job? And you can tell them, okay? Helped art department with all necessities, made coffee runs. It's like, I don't need to know all that shit. I know what a set production assistant does. Like, we can, you know what I mean? You don't need to spell it out for me. Okay? I'm going to go to the chat. Maybe I should finish. Okay. Commercials. Okay, pop log, masterclass. Okay, that's okay. And then assisted in setting up equipment, logistics, ran errands. Like, again, you are a set production assistant. You don't need to spell out. You don't need to spell out your responsibility. Like, I know what you're doing. You're a set PA. I get it. And then let's see, music video, wasted. Assisted in setting up equipment. Again, right? Like, we don't need all that in there. All that stuff in there, you don't really need. Whew. Okay. We've done with the experience section. So we have a lot of punctuation to fix. We need to make sure that your position is first and bolded, and I think let's get rid of that team player line for the love of God. Like, I cannot with the team player line. I don't know why. And this is maybe a personal thing, but I don't know. Okay. I'm just going to go to the chat real quick because Angela's blowing it up. Okay. Also, I don't think, okay, let's see. I forgot. I forgot. Okay, Angela's mad. Okay. Yes, I changed from actress Angie to my full government name. It's been a while. Oh, okay, good. I was like, Angela's talking like I know her. And I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't seen this name. So Angela, you've been here before. Okay, got you. And let me just say, this is dope that you're doing this. Thank you for being gentle with your, thank you so much. I really do enjoy, I'm selfish because I love doing it. Just kidding. It gives me a chance to like connect with people and just like help people get a leg up somehow. You know what I mean? Like, it is hard out there, y'all. It's hard out there in the world. Okay. And I'm just like, if I can help you guys excel in any way, like, let me try and help. Let me be an impact to some people in this world. Okay. Also, I don't think I've updated you, but I worked as a health and safety PA for a show on FX and then got bumped up to Set PA, and now I'm in the writer's room of that show. Oh my God. Girl, that's gonna make me cry. Angela, that's amazing. I love hearing stories like that. Like, honestly, I love it so much. Like, that is like a perfect example of like people just moving up and using the position that you're in like networking and building connections and relationships with people. Like, I love that so much. So like, congratulations on like moving up and going after what you want. That is amazing. I'm sorry, Angela. I'm like, oh, I love it. Okay. So congrats to Angela, like really, honestly, like, sorry. Okay, Rachel, Angela, was writing your initial goal when you started out? Yes, it was, but became clear after we wrapped last season, and I further realized that Set PA wasn't what I wanted to do, and writing and acting were my priorities. That's amazing. Don't forget, Amber knows Teamsters in New York. Oh my God, that is amazing. I love hearing stories like that. Like, oh my God. Anyone in the Teamsters unit, please don't have me whacked. Why are you going on about I missed something. I do know Teamsters. They're awesome. Also, selfless, but giving your hard-earned sleep time does. I definitely probably would still be sleeping probably by now. But tomorrow, I'm definitely slipping in tomorrow. That's for sure. Yeah, it really is. It really is hard out here. Yes, yes, yes. Gisela, it's okay. Gisela, we did not get to your resume yet. Don't worry. Oh my God. Angela, I am so happy for you. I love hearing all these stories. Like, yo, always, like, I get a lot of, not a lot, but every now and then, like every couple days or whatever, I get like a DM or like something on TikTok or like an email, and like someone's told me that, like, you know, I've been watching your videos for years and like you've changed my career, and like I didn't even know they existed until at that point they told me that like they've watched my videos. So like this is another reason why I do this review and these live streams, because it's like I know who you are, and then I get to know where you came from and then where you're moving up to. I just am in love with the success story. I just love it. I just gotta eat that up. I just love it. Have a cut. Yo, Sean, stop. It's so funny. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm gonna get to, where am I at? Okay, we're done with Isabel, we're going back to Isabel. Okay. All right. Well, we've been streaming for an hour. We're doing good. We're on the 4th resume. It's only been an hour. Okay. Thank you for being here with me, guys. I'm so happy for everyone for being with me. Okay. So we're going to get to the skills. I do like the way the skills is, the skills section is formatted. We have, I'm going to back this up because I feel like I'm blowing up your ears, guys, so I'm sorry. So photo editing, video editing, Adobe. I don't mind this, and then screenwriting and others, like Google Docs. Again, Google Workspace. Google Docs is fine. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, let me just check that. I like how that's formatted. It's fine, because it's like a little bold, and it's like lighter, the gray is fine. Awards, short film, God by Isabel. Wait, so New York Flash. I feel like that's a big thing for you, your short film, right? This is you, right? Like I feel like that gets a short film official selection for, that's like, I don't know why, but I want that to be bigger for some reason. I feel like it just gets lost there. Like, I want it to be a little bit bigger. You need a different format. Like, you're an aspiring filmmaker and you have a little thing in awards where it's like short film God by Isabel, blah, 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 right? And then it's like you have your short film went places. I want that to be a little bit bigger of a section. I don't know. So, I mean, I get it, but like also, I mean, I understand you're like not trying to make it a big deal, but like, because you're like trying to be a filmmaker, but like, if I want that to be bigger for some reason, because that's a big deal. Okay. Sorry, guys. Education. The A in PA boot camp should be capitalized. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. And then receive training out on set. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm talking too much, so now my throat is like getting irritated. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's see. PA boot camp, configure and use. Like, I think I like that it's there. But also the way you separate configure and use of walkie-talkie gear and headset, and then production tech, communication, and all that stuff. I feel like maybe there needs to be some bullets there, because like you start with PA boot camp and then you have no space and you start going into like what those things are. I think if you use bullets here, it'll like go into like your training as a PA, and then I would like it better. So I think, Isabel, I want you to use a different template. And when you watch this, I'm sorry. I feel like you're a very talented person. Would I hire you? I think I would. I would take a chance, but I'd worry about your attention to detail. At the fact that like your punctuation is kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes punctuation, people on paper isn't always their strong suit. Like Vanessa's a perfect example of this. Like her resume is trash. But her personality like shines so bright, and I love her personality and her positivity, and she always is such a hard worker, and she's just like, she meets every challenge, but like her resume doesn't tell me that, right? In a weird way. So like your personality might be, it might match this, it might not. So because sometimes what I expect of a person based on what I see from the resume does definitely match. But when you use this template, it's locking you into a certain style that I feel like will like take away your personality, and it kind of just like flattens you out. So I would encourage you to go with something different and look at other resume templates and like see what you want to do yourself. Because I feel like this one is just not for you. Because like, you have this short film that like did things, and you have PA training, and I feel like we just got to go with something different here. And then punctuation. Oh my goodness. Fix that, girl. Honestly. Okay. Your videos have helped me. Oh my God. Angela, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to move on to the next one. So Gisela. Okay. So Gisela, we're on to you. I hope you're still here. I'm going to make yours a little bit bigger. So I just wanted you guys to see the style of her. Like you can see the top and bottom, right? But I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so we can see a little bit of the information. Okay. So I like how your name is nice and big. I like how there's color in there. There's like texture to your resume. I do love this a lot. Okay. So I like how experience is underlined. It's in that, like, I like when the things are like, when you have lines above and below, like Dan did this as well. I love this. I also the color teal. I am obsessed with teal. I love a good teal. Like this is definitely like teal. My couch is teal, y'all. I'm obsessed with this color. I'm just saying. Okay. So I like the way this looks. This, I would hire you and I would just like look and then I'd be like, okay, great. Gisela's hired. So there is a big blank space here. And Gisela, you told me that you couldn't get the second page. So anytime you get a second page, it usually means that you just have to kind of like arrow down, see where your cursor is at. And sometimes you have extra spaces there that you don't know that you have there. So that is just all, you just need to, because you guys don't see this, but she submitted her resume and she couldn't figure out how to get the second page off of it, right? So just telling her how to do it, like just make sure you go to the second page and keep deleting until you get up, your cursor keeps going up. So she can get to just one page. So I don't know how you built this, because some people do it in, you could do it in like Word Docs or Microsoft Word or whatever. Like I do it in Google. That's where I do my resume. That's how I do it. So when I export to PDF, you have to make sure that your cursor is not on that second page when you export it. I like how your name is nice and big. I do like the use of icons. I'm always a fan of that. But then you do have this big space here underneath education, and I feel like you can put something there. Like you have the space to put some personality here. Like skills, something. You don't have to, but because this resume looks nice. It's very clean. I love the style and the texture of it. But I feel like if you have the space, why not just put something fun here where you're like skills, customer service, communication, leadership, like whatever it is. Or you can put a personal statement there, whatever your goals are, like something you have the space to utilize. Okay, so moving on to the experience section. With that being said, with that big space being there, I just need the font to be a little bit bigger on the experience section because it looks a little small, and you have the space because you have all this above and all this below. Like you can make this section a lot bigger. You can definitely get your margins a little bit smaller. Like, I don't know if there's a way to put this design, because if this is an image, you can just move that up a little bit and then move your experience, just make it a little bit wider for you to have some. I just need the information there to be a little bit bigger, because I don't know what I'm trying to look at your. Let me look at it in the preview to see how big it is. I don't know what type of. I just want maybe everything there to go maybe 1 or 2 font sizes up. And then you're like, oh God, if I did that, it'd be off the page. And it might be, so I'm going to just make this a little bit bigger so people can see. Okay, so we're going to go into, I like how first things first is that you have health and safety. Like, you have your position underlined and bolded. Amazing. I can pick them out. I also love how you bolded all the positions underneath it, where it's like first AD, second, like you have those bolded too, which it pops off the page. It looks great. The idea of you, and I like how you have, I like what you did here, where it's like, it's in all caps and then you italicized it. I have no problems with that, because then the stuff underneath it is just like regular font, where it's like, you're just kind of like, it just stands out. I like it. And then you have in parentheses the dates. Maybe just to make this a little cleaner, I would probably put the dates like right aligned to just give yourself some breathing room, because sometimes when you format it like this, it can get like, because you have like the title, then you have the date, and then you have the people under it, like it's a lot of information just all on this one like left aligned. So maybe if you bring the dates all the way to the right, maybe it just might make it look a little bit, it'll be able to breathe a little bit more. So we'll put the dates on the right. I think that might be real nice. And then I do like how it's formatted. I have no problems with how, this is very easy to look at. And the only thing I really want is like just a little, like your personality is shining already based on how you form and like the style of your resume. So I already know that it's like, you have attention to detail. You've thought about it. You can see the big picture. Like, you've definitely worked really hard on it. So like, I don't really need to know any much more, but now your bonus is like utilizing that space on the left to tell me something you want to tell me about yourself. Goals, personal statement, skills, whatever. You can use that space to tell me something a little extra. So just saying, like, I love it. I don't have a lot of critique for it, because I'm giving you a lot of grace, because normally I'd be like, oh, well, you wouldn't put, the project in caps and you would put them in quotes. Like, as long as I can easily decipher the name of the movie or project you worked on, I don't care. As long as it's italicized. The fact that it's like all caps and italicized, great. I love it. This is really, I think this is like really thought out, and I think this is great. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to have a sandwich. I haven't eaten breakfast yet because I woke up so late. Okay. I love it. So, Gisela, like, Mom, you should be proud. I'm just saying, she's like really, I don't know, she's going places. That's all I'm telling you. She's going places. I just know it. I feel it. Like, she's got it down. I don't know what her goals are. I think we talked about it like a couple months ago. I can't remember, but I think this is fine. I think this is really, really great. All right, so I'm gonna move on to Rachel. So Rachel submitted her resume last month, and I think this is a lot more organized. This is great. This is like a lot more organized. Rachel, if you're still here, what was the thing that I said in my video that said what you weren't supposed to do? Okay, so eager to gain production assistant experience in film and or television production. I aim to anticipate crew needs while on set and help ensure the project runs smoothly. I love that. I do love it. I do love that. I love that personal statement. I do love that a lot. That is totally fine. Okay, so your skills are at the top, right? Did we talk about this? This is why it's kind of like, you want to make sure your skills go down. Bring your experience up. That's fine. I love how you use a lot of bullets, but they're all aligned, which is very nice and clean. It's lovely. The categories are really, like, I like it. I like your use of green. Let's see, communications, client, stakeholder support. Like, I like all of this. This is great. Like, maybe probably too much bullets, but like, it doesn't bother me. Some people will be like, oh, there's a lot of bullets here. It was the fact that I have the companies I work for more obvious in positions. Okay, so yes, so that is something, but I think it's okay because I can very quickly see background PA and set PA. So, and it falls under the same company, so I'm okay with this. So when you start getting more and more experience, then you might have to flip your use of color or something. But I do not want you to get rid of your use of color. I like the fact that you have green here. I like the fact that there's green here. And it breaks up the information really, really well. So I think this is like leaps and bounds better than what you had last month. This is amazing. And everything's very, very quick to read. So I kind of like this. I like it, even though I know that you have the production company like more like prominent, but it's like I can see background PA and set PA very quickly. So that is the goal. Like however you want to like format your resume, as long as I see your position stand out and pop, I'm fine. And as soon as you get more experience, it's gonna be, you're gonna have to just play with your format a little bit. But this is great, Rachel. I think this is fine. Let's see what you say in the chat. I used to have the bullets above each other, but I needed space to make it one page, so I split it. I think that's fine. And I think that's the like, if you're in your resume and you're like tweaking stuff and you're playing with it, that is what you have to do. It's like, you're not going to make a resume in like a day, unfortunately. Like it takes, for me, when I have to reformat my resume, especially, I just reformatted mine because of me going from Set PA to DGA AD. It's like now I have to change it a little bit because now I have to add like DGA experience and I have to do certain things. So when you reformat it, it takes like a minute. Like I have to look at this. What do I have to do? Making sure you save a draft of it, because it's like you have to go back to what you had, and like every time you tweak something, and you don't want to lose any information, because then like I have to look for like the jobs I did and all this stuff. So it takes a minute for me to like go to it, look at it, think about it, get away from it for a little while, do something else, get my brain off of it, and then come back to it and say, oh, now this is an idea that this is what I want to do with it now. So I think it's really nice. I think it's good. I don't know how everyone feels about it, but like I like it. Like I don't mind it. And this is like your volunteer, your education, your skills. I think the only thing that I really want to change here is bring your skills down, bring your experience up. So I would say maybe but then I kind of like how your experience, the columns are broken up a little bit. Because then all the bullet points are going to be all kind of together. So I'm just trying to think, like, experience should definitely be first. Let me look at something really quick. I want to look at your thing. Hold on. Without this information, I'm going to just delete it really quick. Let me delete this. Let's see. I do like it. It doesn't, like, at first glance, it doesn't bother me that you have skills at the top. I think let's switch the two. Switch the skills section and the experience section, and I think I'll feel better about this. Because then there's a lot of space with work history. I think what I would do is make work history smaller this way. So take away the spaces. And it might look a little, I don't know. This is why like when you play with your resume a lot, like, you're going to try some things. Oh, that kind of looks weird. That kind of looks, does this look good? Whatever. But if like maybe you switch skills and experience, which I think is very important, and then maybe put work history, I don't know, and then like take the space below the columns, take that away, like in between the green and the space. Like I think you know what I'm talking about. Like underneath the bullet points, and then you start with like another company name in green. Take away that space. I don't think you need the space. If you take away those spaces and make work history a little bit smaller vertically, I think it'll take less importance from that, because I don't know if I care too much about that section. I like how you put communications, project leadership, scheduling. I like those things that they're popping out, and this is what you did in those jobs. But I really want, like, I don't know, flip skills and experience, take the spaces away underneath the bullet points between the bullet points in the next company, and then maybe you can have like I just don't want the work history to be so prominent. That's the goal here, is not to have the work history look so prominent. And maybe, I'm like really nitpicking here. I'm like really trying to, there's something missing. What's missing here, Rachel? Something's missing. Something's bothering me. I'm like, I need something else here. Maybe it is eager to, maybe like I want something like on the side here. Like, you know how you have your name and then like on the right side, there's like this big thing. Maybe if you center that, right? Because I know what you're doing. You're having everything left aligned. But if maybe you center your name, does anyone agree or disagree with this? I don't know. Like maybe if we center your name and you put, because underneath her name is like her name, and underneath her name is her number and her email in green, and it's lovely. So like maybe I just want it in the center or something. I'm just trying to, there's something that I want. Like I just want something else. Maybe it might be just more experience in the experience section. But the work history just looks like really big. So I just want to take some of that spacing out a little bit. All right. Rachel, now I'm just nitpicking. Now. So maybe, yeah, right? Okay, Sean, you agree with me. Obi-Wan Martin, you agree with me. I like it. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go to the chat. Y'all are speaking to me. Okay. I used to have the bullet. Yeah. Thank you. Took me 2 months to reformat mine also before also doing Tiny Tweet. Exactly. Right. Hypothetically, would you hire the person with this resume? Rachel. Hypothetically speaking, I love that because I've kind of added this like extra element. I'm like, if I look at this resume, would I hire this person? Because I've kind of been doing that with almost every resume. I would give this person a chance. I would, because you don't have a lot of experience, but I would give you a chance. I would hire you as an additional. I would give you a few days, and I would evaluate. I'd be like, okay, we're gonna see, because I would take a chance. So that I would take a chance on you. Yes, I would hire you. I'd give you a couple days. Okay, so let's see. Me too. It's nice. Rachel, love the Greek. Right? Right. Exactly. And the bullet points. It's so organized, and it's like all my feedback. It's like really nitpicking. I don't mind that your skills are at the top, but I definitely. Like, it looks fine. I think it's so much better than what you had last month. It's amazing. So it's like the progress that I love seeing the progress. It's so good. Center the name, right? I wish I had more experience too. Feedback noted. Thanks. Thanks again, Amber. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, I think the centering the name, right? Okay, so I think centering the name would add like a little something to your resume. Just yes. My personality and customer service is unmatched. I love it. So these resumes are like, I love getting these resumes. So those are all the resumes. Did I miss anyone? I feel like maybe I haven't looked at my phone or anything like that, or my email, because some people like to send me their resumes during the live stream, which I'm like, I did 6 resumes. I think I did 6 resumes pretty quickly. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm getting maybe more efficient, maybe like staying on track or something. I don't know. Or your resumes are just getting better and I have less critique to give. Okay, so let's, I think, right? I did 1, 2, right. I just want to make sure I had all of them in, because I usually just do 6 resumes. Okay, I'm not tripping. Yes, Rachel, center that name. Okay, good. So I think I haven't had any videos. Okay, only reason why I have not had any videos yet this year, first of all, it's only Friday the 13th. Yeah, happy Friday the 13th. Guys, happy Friday the 13th. I'm glad we didn't wrap on Friday the 13th. I haven't made any videos yet. I have one written I'm going to do. And then I haven't really thought about videos. I know that we talked about interviewing some of my trainees, which would be very, very interesting for some people. And I think that would be something that was a really, really good idea that I asked some of my trainees. I was like, would you like to be interviewed? And they're like, yeah, fuck yeah. So it's like something that I like always just spitball and be like, oh, are you interested in like, some of my subscribers? They're like, yeah, let's see that. So I think I'll have people on for interviews as far as like people I've trained. I think that's a really, really good idea. And my next live stream I think will be next weekend. No, not next weekend. Because I think I might be traveling. Next weekend I will be traveling. Yes, because I leave Wednesday. So I would say maybe February. My next live stream, I'm going to have a topic talking about this is a very tough topic, and maybe I should just talk about it now. I don't know, but this is a very tough topic. One of my trainees had this, and I think everyone goes through this moment of like, I deserve more. right? And I am here for your mindset. I am here to inspire you and be like, you deserve love, you deserve better, you deserve what you think you deserve, da, 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 da. But let me just say that you have to work for it, and no one's gonna hand that shit to you, okay? You are not, like, I cannot deal with people who are entitled. And a lot of people are like, I know I can do better and I deserve more responsibilities. But here's the thing. When you're working in the film world, you have to prove yourself. And I'm not saying you got to kill yourself, no, but I'm saying that everything that you are given is a test and is a reflection of you. So if you are like, oh, this is beneath me, this task that you gave me is beneath me, and I know I deserve to do better, and I know I deserve to do better things. Like, I think that there is, and I have to organize my thoughts. I gotta write this out. I gotta journal a little bit. I gotta sink into this thing, because I'm all about like affirmations and being like, you deserve things, and in like manifestation, and it's all about like, you know, knowing what you want and going after it. But like, you have to work for those things. You can't just expect people to hand them to you. And I know that if you think you deserve more and you think you deserve better, but if you are not working towards those things, it kind of, there's like a mismatch there, right? So I think this is a good topic to talk about, because a lot of my trainees, a few of my trainees have this mindset of like, well, I know I'm better than the things that they're giving me. And I struggled with this mindset for a very long time. And I was an additional back in like, I think, gosh, oh my God, I can't remember what year it was, but I walked away and I was like, no, I can be I can be an AD. I don't know what I'm doing here on these stupid lockups as an additional PA. No one's giving me a chance. I'm not moving up. So I like walked away and started being an AD. I mean, I'm happy I did that, because I was like, I know I could do better. I know I'm worth more, but I wasn't showing anyone that I could handle more. I wasn't having a good attitude, and I wasn't like, this mindset like really hindered my ability to be hired. Like, people didn't want to hire me because I had this like, I'm better than that attitude. And I think that if you have that mindset of like, I'm better than this, you don't get very far, because people can sense that and they don't want to work with you. So I have to organize my thoughts a little bit more on this topic. So I have to like mull this over in my mind a little bit. I don't know what you guys think about this. I'm gonna read this. Okay. This was so informative. Thank you, Angela. Thank you so much. Great. I'm glad that like, I think that this topic is something that is, I think a lot of people struggle with, like, why am I not getting this opportunity? Like, why are people not trusting me with certain things? Why can I not do more? Why am I not getting this, I don't know, promotion, quote unquote promotion or whatever? And chat, even if you think you are a superhero, you are probably working at the Hall of Justice, where everyone is a superhero. Right. So I think it's a hard topic to organize. I think in my head, at least, I have to like write this out and think about it a little bit. But I remember I had this attitude, and I didn't get very far, and I don't know what changed. I think me being grateful for an opportunity, and me being grateful for all the responsibilities, and just being like, wow, I'm here on a movie set, even though I'm just blocking up pedestrians. It's like, but without you, that shot wouldn't be able to happen if it was a, period piece. Like, and people ruining the shot, and like people not being, it's just like, all the pieces in filmmaking matter. And if you think any one task while you're making a movie or a TV show or whatever is too small, then it's like, you're not ready for the bigger positions. You're not ready, because like, I feel like if you're running the show, you're a director, you're a producer, and you don't appreciate all the little tasks that come beneath that, it's like, how can you really appreciate the people who are working for you? Because it's like, you're worried about the big picture, and all the little details matter. And it's funny, because like last night, my key PA came up to me. He's like, yeah, Steven Spielberg, got his Golden Globe, and he thanked all his PAs. That's amazing. So all the little things that everyone does that you think doesn't matter because you think you deserve more, they all matter. You know what I mean? So Angela, right, internally, I struggled with the same thoughts, but concealed it with a smile, definitely getting lunches for first team and dealing with their egos. But as soon as I changed my mindset, it all changed. It changed for the, exactly, right? And I think about it like this, like, and I definitely was like, thinking like, oh, well, I'm just getting coffee. But like me as an AD now, I can't leave set. And the fact that a PA has the ability to go to Crafty or go to Starbucks or whatever and do a coffee run for everybody, and I have coffee now, I'm like, oh my God, I am so grateful for that. And like thinking back to when I was a PA, I thought those things didn't matter. So as someone who is like a leader now on set, I'm like, I thoroughly appreciate the people who can get those small things for me because I can't do them myself. And if I did, my first AD would be fucking like, Amber, where the hell are you? So it's just like the small things really do matter when you think like getting lunch for a first team, like they are going to just get literally a half an hour because crew gets 45 minutes based on like the last man. And they have to be in their trailer. Then literally 30 minutes later, they're going to have a PA knocking on the door asking them to get into touch-ups and, you know, like makeup or hair or get changed right away because they have to be ready 100% by the time crew is back in. So like the fact that you got their lunch for them saves them so much time, and they at least have time to themselves, right? And I don't envy any actor, okay? So I just think that every small task is like, it matters because it's like you are actually, you may not think it and you may not know it, but like when you are doing things for actors and producers and like people who are like these big people, it's like they don't have the ability to do it themselves, and you're saving them so much time and probably just so much brain power too. So it's like you matter, and it's just like no task is too small on a film set. And I definitely just wish people would look at it like that, and like instead of like, oh, I want to do bigger things. It's like, okay, I get that, but also like prove to me, like, are you grateful for being here? Because if you are like, if you have a bad attitude and like I just brought you on set and I don't know you and you're giving me an attitude because I asked you just like, can you get me a water or a coffee or something because I literally can't grab it myself, and you're gonna have me have an attitude about it, it's like, why are you here? It's kind of like I don't know how anyone else feels about that, but we're gonna get more deeper into that a little bit in February when I do my next live stream for sure. Treat the, unfortunately in some cases, unpaid interns the same as a person in the charge, and your life will be so much facts. This is like, I'm so glad you guys agree with this, because I think this is why you're like on my channel and you subscribe to like my channel, because like I definitely believe in that, and that's just so true. Like honestly, yep, those small things count. That's how I excelled and stayed working. Yes, Angela, fuck yes, I'm just so happy. So that is it for now, guys. Thank you so much for joining me during this January film resume review live stream. I am so happy that you're here, and if if you guys have any success stories to share with me, please, you can email me, you can like comment or whatever. I love hearing them. I love hearing about your success, and I just want to celebrate you guys. So Angela, once again, congratulations on like you moving up and like working and like just working hard and like grinding it out. Like seriously, that is amazing. So next month I will definitely have a February film rose review, and then we'll definitely have a chat about every small task on set and having the right mindset going into this job, and like, you know, knowing your worth, but also proving that you're like worth being there. So thank you so much, everybody. That is it for now. I shall see you guys next time.